Hello and welcome back to the now rebranded Bad Soup. No reason for me to explain myself. We're going to get right into it by grinding up some almonds. For what you may ask, well, today we are making a blackberry pie. Blend and shake those almonds until they're begging for mercy. Grab your closest bowl and then we're going to load this up with flour. Ingredients will be popping up on the screen to let you know the exact measurements and all that jazz. This time around we're going to be grabbing the Paula Deen equivalent to the amount of butter that I would like to have in my pastry. And although baking is a fine art science, and although that I wear a Breaking Bad apron, I am not the smartest when it comes to baking, so I only make these for my misery and your amusement. Once you got your butter lined up, we're going to dice it all up and then throw it in the bowl with all the flour, and we're going to make butter flour. Butter flour, I love butter flour. Mix this up with your hands, and we're going to be pretty much all set. Next up, we're going to add some diabetes to the mix. We're going to add in a fourth a cup of powdered sugar. We're going to add in those almonds that we ground up earlier. We're going to add in about, what is it? Let me check my script. Half a cup of almonds. Then we are going to grate the skin of a lemon off and throw 2 eggs alongside with it. It needs friends or something. Anyway, so get those cracked and put in here. But then you also find here that I am not the brightest candle on the cake, but we make do. Anyhow, you're going to get specifically the yolks out of this, and we're going to drop that into our pastry dough. Once you realize the mess you made on your fingers, we're going to wash off and then come back and then mix up the pastry dough. Like we've been talking about this entire time. Anyhow, skip ahead. We're going to get all the pastry dough out, including the crumbles and whatever have you, and I've learned through this whole process that I thought I was going to be working with like a Play-Doh substance, and then I realized that no, I am working with a dough version of chalk. So thankfully, a lot was skipped out, and now we have a ball that we're going to now refrigerate for the next 15 minutes. After refrigerating, we're going to take that ball back out, and we're going to start pressing it down and getting it shaped for our pie container. So after a bit of kneading, we're going to cut off about a quarter of this and then set it aside and then throw that back just to chill it. This will come into use later. We're going to knead and roll this out until it's very thin, and we're going to put it in a 9.5 inch pan or whatever these directions are telling me to do, because I did not have the exact pan that it needs, and I found a square one that we're going to use instead. Here is said square pan. Now the moments ahead are going to be pretty clear to you that I'm not great at baking. So we're going to jump ahead to the parts where this is going to, be helpful, because this whole process is just painful to watch. Anyway, see you in about a couple seconds. A couple seconds later, and we were painfully putting this into a pan. We got to a point where we're just like, you know what, dump it in. We're just going to roll it in the pan itself, because we make do. So we're rolling it in the pan here, and we're just trying to make it, again, thinly layered as possible. If you want to attempt to do this better than I did, I will be putting a link to the recipe book in the description. At this point, it says to trim off all, the trimmings or the excess that's laying off the side, but brother, we need freaking everything here. Anyhow, we're going to chill this as well while we're making our next thing, which is the filling, which is a blackberry filling. So while we're waiting for the pan to heat up, we're going to make a cornstarch slurry. This will come in hand to basically just thicken up the mixture or filling when the time is needed. We are going to throw our blackberries into the pan. Then we're going to steal the skin of another lemon. Just kidding. We're going to chop this up. Then we're going to squeeze out the insides of the lemon. Once you get your last lemon squeezed, we're going to then get our sugar out. We're going to add half a cup of superfine sugar, and we're just going to dust that all around the pan. Then we're going to keep stirring it around so it doesn't exactly, stick to the pan and, cause issues. When you feel confident, give it a good old taste test, and then realize that, oh hey, that's piping hot, and burn the absolute crap out of your finger. Next, you're going to grab your cornstarch slurry, and we're going to mix that in to start thickening up this mixture. We're going to keep mixing and act like nothing is wrong and I'm not feeling a burning sensation in my finger. We're going to toss this aside for the time being and bring our pie crust back out. We're going to carefully now and not try to burn ourselves again. We're going to pour this back into the pan and hopefully not burn ourselves again, because apparently we love burning ourselves so very much. Some personal creativity. We're going to add some almonds to the top of this. Then we're going to bring out the remaining pastry that we set aside to chill and form this to the best of our abilities until we can get it basically thin enough to cut strips that we're going to, make a cross section, with the top of the pie, make it look all nice and fancy and stuff like that. But, this just goes to show I love pastry dough. So I love it so very much. I hate pastry. Anyhow, with the remaining dough, we're gonna just dust the surface to get all the nice pastry dough on top, so it looks nice and pretty when we bring it out later. Next, we're gonna take this to the oven at 375 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. And then here is our final result. I hope it looks good for, you know, people who've made pie crusts before, but oh boy, do I feel like I messed this one up. It did taste good, but I have no video footage of me actually consuming it or like a display of a slice. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next videos, and I hope I can actually get them out faster and not be a lazy doo-doo head. So anyways, peace.